Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Ready? Roll out. Go. Whip. Go.
45. Mike, 45.
All day, baby.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And we look now at the Lions offense.
And partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Let's go, baby.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go deep. Tighten up.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Johnson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
91. You must be dreaming. Back. Watch twist.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Falcons grab it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Costello, and finding the tight end Hooper. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
Yeah, 99 yards to go if they want to do just that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Let's go now. 10-2 saw.
Championships, baby.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Switch.
Hey. High 7. Let's go.
To throw from his end zone. Herbert. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Herbert eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he is out of bounds up around the 14-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson, and just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pull it high.
Here's 2nd and 8. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball in the quarterback's hands.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. On 1st down, it's Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 3rd down, Herbert. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll start the drive with Samuels. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking to throw on second down. Costello. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Come on. Watch the shit.
From the gun, Costello. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ready.
51, Mike 51. Watch the run,
Clear. Right. 5.
On first down, it's Samuels. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Looking to throw. Costello, and that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Lions will take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Johnson. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally, I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it. Come on, man. Let's go.
The Lions defense now back onto the field. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
On first down, Costello. He completes it to Boyd. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. He has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path. A significant number.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third and a few inches. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Here's Bradley Pena now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On first and 10, Herbert, and nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On second down, Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So third down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs.
45.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. A gain of 6 there on first. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 4. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
On the ready.
50, minus 50. Pick me up. Here we go. Patch it. Patch it.
On 3rd down, Costello has got Hooper on the short connection, and he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Back to throw. Herbert, he's going to go for a big play down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away. And now look at this, big gain but a fumble. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. The busy night continues for Johnson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw on 3rd down. Herbert flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Set, ready, 30 base. Rip right, rip right. Let's go.
From the gun, Costello. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big pickup of 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Looking to throw. Costello. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Tyler Boyd. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, if you bring your tight end over there. Either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
On second down now, it's Johnson. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They run it here with Gordon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
On the ground, it's Cook. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
This is Davis, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll come on to kick for a sixth time tonight. Fielded at the 43. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Johnson. And some room to work. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And his kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Costello. The open man is Westbrook. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Johnson. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey. 45. Mike, 45.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Looking to throw. Herbert, and he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back to throw. Herbert. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Running to start the drive is Samuels. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On third down, Costello nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. The man is Galladay, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They come up in an offset eye. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Out.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And here now come the Falcons. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
On the carry, it's Samuels. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they just...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Throwing on 1st down. Costello has got Hooper on the short connection. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
3 bucks. Ready, go.
Now Davis. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They run, Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So now the Lions down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well. He's back to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards there and a line first down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 14. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game.
Go. 45, Mike, 45. Ready? Go.
They're going to try and run for it. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. And no doubt they had to go for 2 to tie the game. Now they need a miracle on the onside kick.
They gave it their best shot. Can they pull it off here and maybe get one of those onside kicks that bounces perfectly, and they can grab it and run it all the way to the other end zone? That's what they're down to at this point.
A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tim.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know, this is really